Picture this. AI reshaping classrooms with virtual tutors, running boardrooms with unmatched precision, and crafting blockbuster hits for Hollywood. The future isn't coming, it's here. Stick around because by the end, you'll know the difference between game-changing tech, what's hype, and how to spot the AI dope.
Imagine, picture this, right? A PhD student hunched over their computer, coding away for a year, pouring everything they have into this research project. Now picture an AI just replicates that, the whole year's work, in an hour, just like that.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, right? Like something straight out of a movie. But it's real. It's one of the many mind-blowing things in this 2024 State of AI report.
Seriously, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, believe me. We're talking AI designing life-saving proteins, creating movie-quality videos just from a sentence, even predicting its own impact. It's wild.
Wild's one word for it. And this report, it's like our guide breaking down these breakthroughs, the research, the applications, even the risks that come with this level of AI.
Because this isn't just, about understanding some algorithm. This is about how this tech is going to reshape everything. Our world, and the choices we got to make now to shape the future with it.
And speaking of shaping the future, one thing's clear from this report. Nvidia, they're still the kings of AI hardware. No doubt. Their dominance it's incredible. You compare their stock to investments in their AI chip rivals, it's astonishing. 15 times better. That tells you everything about their hold on the market.
15 times. Are you kidding me? That's insane. They're playing a different game entirely. But the question is, for how long? Is this dominance? Is it unstoppable? What does AI DALL-E say? Now, that's something I'd love to explore further on my channel.
That's the billion-dollar question, right? But while Nvidia is on top, the report, it does hint at some, maybe vulnerabilities. Think of it like a fortress. It's mighty, but are there cracks? Should we be paying attention to those?
Ooh, cracks in the fortress. I like that. Adds a bit of mystery to Nvidia's story. But let's switch gears for a second. Another big thing popping up is open source AI models, going head to head with the big dogs, really shaking things up.
That's an interesting shift, yeah. You got Meta's Llama 3, for example, going toe-to-toe with Google, OpenAI, showing how powerful these open models are getting.
That's like David stepping in the ring with Goliath. Is this llama about to score a knockout?
Potentially, yeah, it's got the potential. But there's a catch. The report stresses data quality, especially for these open models. If they don't keep that high, you risk model collapse.
Model collapse sounds intense. What is that? How does that actually affect these models? That's something AI DALL-E could really dig into, by the way.
Imagine building a house, right? But the foundation's shaky. Doesn't matter how great the house looks, foundation crumbles, it all goes down. Data, that's the foundation. Got to be solid for these models to work.
Makes you wonder, will this make AI accessible to everyone? Or is it opening a can of worms? Risks we haven't even thought of. What do you think?
Million-dollar question, and the report, it gets into it. Huge potential, real concerns, both. More access could mean incredible innovation, but also who's in control? Misuse, unintended consequences, it's all on the table.
Exciting and kind of scary at the same time. We're talking about changing industries, solving global problems, but also disrupting lives, changing systems. And it's not just digital anymore. AI's getting physical too.
Yeah. Exactly. Robots, healthcare, climate change solutions, you name it. It's stepping out of the computer and into our world, and that's huge.
Mind-blowing is more like it. But mixing the digital and physical like that, it brings up a whole new set of issues, right? Ethical stuff, regulations. Where do we even begin to untangle that?
It's a tightrope walk, for sure. And one of the biggest things the report highlights is the energy consumption of these AI models. We're talking potentially derailing big tech's climate promises. It's that big.
Wait, so AI could be the solution and the problem when it comes to climate change. What a twist. Definitely need to dive deeper into that on AI DPE. Can we have our AI cake and eat it too, or are those goals fundamentally opposed?
It's about balance, innovation, and taking responsibility. The report's clear. We can't ignore the environmental cost of this powerful AI.
Yeah, talk about a balancing act, right? Trying to harness this power, but not trip over ourselves with the downsides. But this report, it's not just about now, it's looking ahead too, making some bold predictions about where AI is going.
Oh, definitely. And one that caught my eye, it's talking about AI revolutionizing creative fields, art, music, even filmmaking.
Well, hold on. AI composing symphonies, painting masterpieces, directing the next blockbuster. Are we going to have an AI Spielberg soon?
Might sound crazy, but we're already seeing AI create realistic images, music in different styles, even short films. The report says this is just the beginning. It'll only get more advanced, more accessible in the next year.
That's both exciting and a little scary for artists, right? What's AI DPE's take on this? Will AI be a tool or a replacement?
It's more likely to be a partnership, I think. AI gives artists new tools, techniques, even inspiration, pushing their creativity further. But the human element, that's still going to be key.
So AI as a partner, not a replacement. I can get behind that. Any other predictions stand out?
There's one about education. AI's role there is growing. The report predicts it'll be more integrated into classrooms, personalized learning, automating things like grading, even virtual tutors.
AI tutors. Now that's interesting. So AI tailoring education to each student, their needs, how they learn best. That could be huge, especially for students who struggle in the usual way. Does AI DOKE see this as a good thing for education, or could it become, like, impersonal?
Like any tool, it depends how we use it, right? AI could make education more engaging, effective, more accessible too, but it's got to be a supplement, not a replacement for human connection, for guidance.
Finding that balance, always key. What other predictions should we be keeping in mind as we go further into this AI world?
The report says there's going to be a bigger focus on AI ethics and regulation. AI is getting more powerful, more common, so governments, organizations, everyone's trying to figure out how to use it responsibly, develop it ethically, and handle the risks.
It's like we're exploring a new continent, no map, making it up as we go. This report's been a wild ride, amazing breakthroughs, bold predictions, really makes you think.
It has. If there's one thing to take away, it's that AI isn't some far-off thing anymore. It's here. It's changing our world in big ways.
And this is just the start. What we decide now, how we develop AI, use it, regulate it, that's going to shape the future in ways we probably can't even imagine yet.
Absolutely. We need to approach this with responsibility, but also with a sense of possibility,
Well said. So that's our deep dive into the 2024 State of AI report. Quite a journey, and one thing's for sure, this AI revolution, it's here, it's happening. Keep learning, stay engaged, keep asking the tough questions, because the future of AI, it's being written right now. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's rewind a bit. The report delves into some impressive research breakthroughs. What were some of the highlights?
One key takeaway is that AI performance across different labs, it's starting to even out. But OpenAI, they seem to be staying a step ahead, especially with their new model, O1.
O1. Is that like the next version after GPT-4? What's so special about it?
It's a game changer, I'll tell you that. It seems to have cracked one of the toughest nuts in AI planning and reasoning. See, previous models, they relied on predicting what comes next, like guessing the next word in a sentence. But O1, it uses something called chain of thought reasoning. It actually thinks through problems step by step, like we do.
Hold on, it's not just spitting out answers based on what it's seen before. It's actually figuring things out. That's a whole different ballgame.
It is. And the results are incredible. Huge improvements in benchmarks that need reasoning, especially in things like math and science, where AI has always struggled.
That's what makes that story about the PhD student so mind-blowing. It shows the power of this new AI. But let's be real, all this advanced AI power, it can't be cheap.
You hit the nail on the head. The report mentions O1's got a hefty price tag, 3 to 4 times pricier than GPT-4.
Ouch.
Hey, want our free AI dope top AI tools that we use? Chat below. It's our live Google Sheets packed with over 100 killer tools, video, music, photos, AI voices, productivity, script writing, YouTube hacks, captions, the works, always growing, live Google Sheet, always free, AI, dope top AI tools that we use. Download and chat below. Back to the show.
So advanced reasoning comes at a price, huh? Does AI DDE have any insights on the cost factor? Will this kind of technology become available to everyone, or will it be something only the wealthy can afford?
It all comes down to scale, efficiency, and how the market plays out. As the technology improves and we figure out how to make these models more efficient, the cost should drop. But right now, access to this level of AI is a privilege, not a right.
Something to think about, for sure. But it's not just OpenAI making waves in the AI world.
Yeah.
You mentioned Meta's Llama model earlier. It sounds like the open source community is giving those big companies a run for their money.
Absolutely. The report highlights how Llama 3, especially the 405 billion parameter version, is going toe-to-toe with GPT-4 and Google's Claude in areas like reasoning, math, even multilingual tasks.
It's like David versus Goliath, but this time, David's got a slingshot that can actually compete. Does AI DOPE think open models have a real chance in this AI race?
It's bigger than just winning. It's about changing the game altogether.
Right.
Open models are shifting who has the power, making this technology available to more people. Researchers, developers, even everyday users.
Democratizing AI, I like the sound of that. But
Yeah.
like they say, with great power comes great responsibility.
Right. Exactly. And that's where all those concerns about safety and ethical implications come back into the picture.
So how do we make sure we use this power the right way? I mean, we're talking about chain of thought reasoning and AI agents like it's nothing. But how do we even know these things are working the way they should? How do we test them for safety and reliability?
That's where the report gets really interesting. It talks about the need for strong benchmarking and evaluation methods to make sure these AI models aren't just powerful, but also reliable, accurate, and free from dangerous biases.
So we need to really put these AI systems through the ringer, test their limits, make sure they don't go off the rails. What are some of the biggest challenges researchers face when trying to benchmark these advanced models?
They highlight a few key challenges. One is overfitting, where models become so good at solving the specific problems they were trained on that they struggle with new problems they haven't seen before. It's like studying only past exam papers and then failing the real test because the questions are different.
Oh. No, I've definitely been there. Not my proudest moments. But okay, so overfitting is like teaching to the test, which isn't what we want for AI. What other challenges are there?
Another big one is that even the most common AI benchmarks can have errors. These errors can really mess with the results, making us underestimate what some models can do, or even worse, making us think they're safer than they really are.
Wait, so the tests themselves could be flawed. That's a bit worrying. What does AI DOPE think? How do we build better, more reliable tests for AI, especially with the technology changing so fast?
It's a constant race, a game of cat and mouse.
Yeah.
As AI models get smarter, we need even smarter ways to evaluate them.
We've got to stay one step ahead. So it's not just about building powerful AI, it's about truly understanding that power and making sure it's used for good.
Exactly. And that brings us to another fascinating part of the report. The quest for smaller, more efficient AI models.
Smaller models. I thought bigger was always better in the AI world. More data, more power, right?
It's not always so straightforward. The report talks about model distillation becoming more popular. Researchers are taking these massive, powerful models and trying to condense their knowledge into smaller, more compact versions.
So it's like taking a huge encyclopedia and creating a pocket guide. Why the focus on smaller models?
A few reasons. Smaller models are more efficient, so they need less energy to run, which is better for the environment. They're also easier to use on devices like smartphones, making AI accessible to more people.
Okay, efficiency and accessibility. It's like AI going green. What's AI DOPE's take on this trend?
Yeah.
Will smaller, leaner models become the norm, or will those giant, energy-hungry models still dominate?
We'll probably see a mix of both. There will always be a need for those big, cutting-edge models that push the limits of what's possible. But as we become more aware of the energy costs and the need for sustainable AI, those smaller, more efficient models will become super important.
It's about finding that sweet spot between power and responsibility. But the report also mentions something called model collapse. That doesn't sound good. What is that all about?
Model collapse is a big worry, especially for open source models. It happens when these models are trained on data that was created by other AI models. Over time, the data quality gets worse and worse, which makes the model's performance decline. It's like making copies of copies. Eventually, the image gets blurry and distorted.
So AI can actually get dumber by feeding on its own output.
That's a real head-scratcher.
Yeah.
Is there a way to prevent model collapse from happening?
The key, according to the report, is making sure we have access to a diverse range of high-quality data that was actually created by humans. This is especially important for open source models. They really need to be careful about where their data comes from and how it's curated to avoid this downward spiral.
It's like they say, you are what you eat, right? Garbage in, garbage out. But it's not all doom and gloom. The report also highlights how AI is being used to tackle some real-world problems, especially in healthcare and climate change.
Absolutely. It's really inspiring to see AI move from the research lab into the real world, offering solutions to some of the biggest challenges humanity is facing.
Give me some examples. I'm ready for some good news.
One of the most exciting areas is AI's role in discovering new drugs and making medicine more personalized. Take AlphaFold, for instance. It's an AI model that can predict the 3D structure of proteins with amazing accuracy.
Hold on. AI can help us understand those tiny building blocks of life. How does that actually help us?
Understanding protein structure is crucial for developing new medicines. AlphaFold and similar AI models are speeding up the drug discovery process, potentially leading to breakthroughs in treating diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, and even infectious diseases.
That's amazing. AI could change everything about how we fight diseases. Does AI DOPE have any predictions for how AI will shape the future of medicine? Imagine the visuals, the storytelling potential.
The possibilities are endless. AI has the potential not only to accelerate drug discovery, but also to create treatments specifically designed for each patient based on their unique genes and lifestyle.
So medicine tailored to each patient, not just a one-size-fits-all approach. Now that's a future I can get behind. What about AI and climate change? How is AI being used to tackle that global crisis?
The report highlights several promising developments. AI is being used to make energy grids more efficient, improve weather forecasting, and even develop new materials that can capture carbon from the atmosphere.
So AI could help us use energy more wisely, predict and prepare for extreme weather, and even clean up the air. That's a game changer in the fight for a sustainable future. Does AI DOPE see AI as a key player in this fight?
AI definitely has the potential to be a powerful tool in combating climate change. It can analyze massive amounts of data, spot patterns and trends, and help us make smarter decisions about how to reduce our impact on the environment.
That's encouraging. But we also have to address the elephant in the room, or rather the energy-hungry AI in the room. All those powerful models require a ton of computing power, which means they use a lot of energy.
You're absolutely right. The report acknowledges the energy demands of these large AI models and emphasizes the need for more efficient AI hardware and software. It's ironic, isn't it? A technology that could help us solve climate change could also make the problem worse if we're not careful.
It just goes to show that even with the most promising technologies, there are always trade-offs and challenges to consider. It's a real balancing act, figuring out how to use AI's power without, shooting ourselves in the foot.
Right.
But this report, it's not just analyzing the present, it's also looking ahead, making some pretty bold predictions.
It is, and one that really stood out to me is how AI could completely change creative fields. Art, music, even filmmaking.
Wait, hold on. AI composing symphonies, painting masterpieces, directing the next summer blockbuster. Are we going to have an AI Spielberg anytime soon?
It might sound wild, but we're already seeing AI create incredibly realistic images, compose music in different styles, even put together short films, and the report suggests that this is only going to get more sophisticated, more accessible in the coming year.
That's exciting, but also a little, unnerving if you're working in those fields. What's AI DOPE's take on this? Is AI going to be a tool for artists, or is it going to replace them?
I think it's more likely to be a collaboration. AI can give artists these new tools, techniques, even inspiration, pushing their creativity in new directions. But that human element, that spark, that's still going to be essential.
So AI is a creative partner, not a replacement. I like that.
Yeah.
Any other interesting predictions from the report?
There's one about education. AI is going to play a much bigger role there. The report predicts it'll be more integrated into classrooms, personalizing the learning experience, automating tasks like grading, even acting as virtual tutors.
AI tutors, that's interesting. So AI could tailor education to each student, their needs, how they learn. Imagine the potential, especially for students who struggle in traditional classrooms. Does AI DOPE think this is a positive development for education, or could it lead to a less personal, less human touch?
Like with anything, it depends how we use it. AI could make education more engaging, more effective, and more accessible. But we have to make sure it's a supplement, not a replacement for actual human interaction and guidance.
Right. Finding that balance, it's always crucial. Anything else we should be keeping an eye on as we move further into this world of AI?
The report also predicts a greater emphasis on AI ethics and regulations. As AI becomes more powerful, more widespread, governments and organizations are going to be grappling with big questions about responsible use, ethical development, and managing the potential risks.
It's like we're in uncharted territory, and we're writing the map as we go, figuring it out along the way.
And if you want another AI dope deep dive, check this next video and ask yourself, how lucky are we to live in these AI dope times?